Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ice Cream, and I can hear my own voice through Bibby's machine. Welcome to Ice Cream. We're not in the studio today. Well, I'm not, but this guy is. The day is Wednesday. The date is the 9th of October 2019. The channel is Ice Cream Uploads, and the show is The Scoop. 1 minute, how do I do this? How you doing, babe? You alright?
Good morning, Graham. How's it going, pal?
Yeah, it's not too bad. So for those of you wondering why Bibby's there and I'm, well, here, I work with Bib on Ice Cream Uploads and Jelly. Sit up so we can see the Jelly logo. Yes, there we go.
So unpeel it from my tits.
Classy as always. I'm here for the start. Woohoo! Says Dad and Lad Gaming. So yeah, usually I'm in the studio with Bib, but that's on a Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I remaining in this glorious cave that is my house. So on a Wednesday and a Thursday, we're gonna start doing like dual location the episodes of The Scoop. I mean, at the moment, we're doing it from my home with Bib just chilling out on my wall, just up there. There you go, Bib. Oh, do you know what I need to do? I need to get like make it look like you're on a TV or something on the wall just behind me. How cool?
That'd be such a good idea.
But
You need to pull your finger out and start doing something.
All right, chill out, mate.
I like your headset though.
It's nice. I like yours. That's a pretty nice one.
Cheers, mate.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Corsair as well, by the way. Obviously, we don't have logos on screen because I'm at home and I don't have that function. I need to get that added. That's something I'm going to add. But Corsair
At the top of your screen.
Yeah, I'm on about the little like rotatey logo thing that's usually on the screen.
Okay, yeah.
Maurice Tan from Corsair noticed our setup yesterday when we posted our live picture. So shout out to Connor and his photography skills because the Stream Deck / Corsair headsets. Corsair loved a little bit of product placement, so yeah. Anyway, so The Scoop, if you're new here, this is only day 3 of us doing this, and thank you very much to everyone else that's watched, tuned in, subscribed, followed, shared all our posts. We've had a massive amount of positive feedback and constructive feedback as well. We've made some changes to the studio setup, which hopefully you guys saw and appreciated yesterday. Everything sounded so much better as well. So for anyone listening to the show on the podcast setup, then hopefully you will have noticed a huge difference from day 1 to day 2. So we are live now on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, and we will be not live, but the show will be live to watch on demand on YouTube within an hour or so of the stream ending. And then later on in the afternoon, we will be live on all of your favourite podcast services. So Spotify, SoundCloud, and do we have Google Play sorted yet? I keep looking there because I have a screen.
No, I know. I'm looking at. I've got you on my screen in front of me, but obviously it's the Twitch stream, so it's got a slight delay because I can't get you through the Discord. But yeah, it's no, we ain't got Google Play yet. It's when I tried to sign up to it, it's not available in our country, which is weird because I seem to be able to listen to other people's podcasts that are from the UK via Google Play. So that's something that I need to try and work out. But nobody uses that anyways. We'll just stick with the ones that everybody actually uses.
If Google Play are listening and want to sponsor us, then everybody listens to it.
I mean, hi guys, hi. How you doing?
They're like throwing money at failure, so this isn't going to fail. So we don't need their money. It's fine.
Just
Spotify though, if you want, Spotify wants to get in contact, we will do you a live podcast.
Yeah.
Your, I imagine, super spectacular podcast center. So yeah, we'll do that if you want.
Yeah, do you know what? I mean, we're not sellouts at all, but we absolutely would sell out. Just saying. Shout out to Dad and Lad Gaming for making the start of the show. Connor Pirate in the chat, and also a special shout out to our friends at CI Games who I know are watching because I was chatting to Asim. On one of our communication systems yesterday, and he said that they've been watching our episodes from the office. So hi Asim, hi Roy, and anyone else that might be around. So, should we get things underway, babe?
Yes, Connor's just told me that he needed to turn my mic up. Can you hear me well enough, Graham? Because if you can hear me well enough, then I imagine the rest of the world can.
I'm sorry, what? I don't know why I'm leaning in to listen to you when I've got a headset on my ears.
A very expensive headset, I might
add. Yes, I can hear you fine. How's everything to everyone in the chat? If you just let us know. Obviously, this is the first time we've done this setup. So as I tweeted a little bit earlier on Twitter, on Graham_Day, please accept that there may be a potential for technical difficulties. It's the first time we've had a dual location scoop, so let us know.
Well, I've turned my gain up anyway, so hopefully I'll be a little bit clearer or a little bit louder. We can hear you quite. It's just a bit lower than Graham. Okay, I've turned my gain up, so hopefully it might. So I said, there we go, says Connor, and Pirate says we can hear you. But hopefully the chat will refresh in about 2 seconds time. But again, it's our first time doing it from here, so same as Monday. We're learning as we go along.
Exactly. So let's get into the pieces of news then. So on the Scoop, we cover all of the happenings in the games industry and related industries. So we pick them apart, and we give you guys a little bit of a chance to get involved in the chat as well on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Applause. Do you want to take the first headline, babe?
Yes, I'm just trying to get back onto my screen.
See, this is where I hope everything works for me now. This is where the technical difficulties can get involved. Let's bring in the browser. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Boom. Yes, this is perfect. So the first article that we were looking at today is from IGN. It's been written by Joel Scribbles, and it's about the Sony PlayStation 5, and it's going to be released the holiday 2020, which we was trying to figure out yesterday what that actually means. So I'm thinking it's November-ish time next year. What would you say? Is it Thanksgiving we started off?
Yeah, I reckon so. Usually consoles don't tend to leave it until, I mean, when someone says holiday 2020, your instant reaction is, oh, that's sort of like Christmas sort of period, December time, when the holidays and stuff start. But obviously, nobody wants to release a console then and then have stock shortages and people can't get it in time for Christmas. And a lot of people like to buy things in advance. Obviously, families have got kids and so on, so they need to make sure that everything's in and prepped ready for the big day. So yeah, it definitely will, I'd imagine, be before December. But holidays, I mean, that's such a vague term. I mean, I don't have the actual quote. Did they say holidays or in time before holidays? Because that could mean...
Yeah, it says Sony announced that PlayStation 5 will be released during holiday 2020.
Yeah, that's IGN's interpretation of it, though. With it not being in quote marks, I don't know what their actual quote.
It might be further down the article, but we'll start to read a couple of paragraphs from here, and also what they think that we're actually going to know, what we actually know about the PlayStation 5. Just clear my throat. Revealed in PlayStation blog post, the console is, as you might have expected, officially called the PlayStation 5.
Dun, dun, dun.
Shock horror. The blog also reveals that the console's controller will feature two key new innovations: haptic feedback, replacing the traditional rumble, and adaptive triggers. It will also feature USB-C charging, a higher capacity battery, and is a little heavier than its predecessor, but lighter than an Xbox One controller with batteries inside. So, with that, what the hell is that haptic feedback?
I'm going to see if I can kill this so I can bring us back. Yay, it worked! Haptic feedback, I mean, I was doing some reading around this yesterday. The Wired article is, as you'd expect, quite meaty because they got the exclusive reveal. I think Wired actually got the first exclusive content on it, was it 3-4 months ago when they first announced their next-gen console? So I think Wired got the exclusive there. Anyway, within that, they talk about haptic being... It's taking the shock features of a dual shock for those that went back to PS1 days. Essentially, what that works is you kind of get like a stick with a motor, and then hanging off the side of that stick is a weight, basically. And then that rotates around, and because it's not centered on it, it essentially makes your pad rumble. So that's what a rumble pack is. But I think it mentions, there you go, further down the screen in the article, which is not on screen for you guys now, but it said Wired also played a version of GT Sport that used haptic feedback, a major change from the PS4 version of the game, which removed rumble altogether because it was too tiring. Essentially, if you're holding a pad that's going... after a while, if your game is a racing game and all you're doing is flying around a track, then that's going to become laborious, repetitive, and it's a bit like holding onto one of those drills that you've got in the road. So... yeah. Haptic feedback is essentially... I mean, we were talking yesterday about VR and haptic suits. It's something that mimics compressions, touch, that sort of thing. So I imagine, without knowing too much about their hardware, that haptic feedback is a more complex way of delivering different types of so you can get
That's cool.
Slight imprints. I mean, I imagine it's not going to be haptic to the level of your pad's actually going to start bulging and boop, boop, boop. But yeah, haptic feedback from the way that I read it through. I mean, did you read the Wired article? There was actually some quite good details in it there, where they the guys that got to test this out, they went to I think it was obviously to wherever PlayStation was doing the demo, or they gave it to them. Anyway, they had a game demo that had multiple different surfaces. So the guys that were getting to play the game, rather than just being Nathan Drake running through a desert or something like that, their character was essentially, the way I read it, was walking along, say, a track, and the track had some water and mud, so you could feel the difference in the pad between having a thick, boggy surface versus then running across sand and still being kind of slow and boggy, but then going across water and more difficult surfaces as well.
Have we had haptic feedback in any other PlayStation controller? Any of the other DualShocks?
No, they've all just been Rumble stuff. Within that article, once more, they mentioned that they had the technology ready for PS4, like halfway through the PS4 cycle, so they could deploy it then. But what they didn't want to do is essentially split the audience in terms of giving different gameplay experiences, because if they rolled it out and then allowed people to buy a brand new haptic controller for 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds, dollars, whatever they were going to charge for it, then allow publishers to program that into their game, some people will be sat there thinking, "Oh, this is quite immersive and cool," while others are going to be like, so
any part of that.
I mean, that's what they say. Probably what they meant is, what's the point in rolling this out at the end of a cycle? We might as well just add it as something brand new for the PS5.
Well, how much do you reckon the pad's going to be then? Do you reckon the pad's going to, if you was to buy it separately, considering I think pads are still about 40 quid now, do you reckon they're going to be more expensive? Do you reckon they're still going to have a standard pad without that what is it called? Haptic
feedback.
Rumble. Yeah. So you reckon they're going to have two different types of controllers? Do you reckon they're going to be more expensive? Do you reckon you can get them in bundles, but the bundle's going to be more expensive for the same price?
With them mentioning that from the off, I imagine that will be their default. Just like the DualShock controllers were DualShock, I imagine haptic will be standard across the board. Maybe that will be an excuse to push the price up, because I remember like £50 for the DS4 being a step up from the previous generation. I thought, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just an old man that thinks everything gets expensive with time. Like Kinder eggs used to be, cream eggs used to be that big, and now they're that big. That sort of conversation. Also, if you're in the chat, are cream eggs smaller than they used to be? I absolutely think they are. But yeah, anyway, I envisage that as one of those sort of what's the phrase that, like, not shrinkflation, but the opposite of it. It's an opportunity to put new technology in, which will then boost the price up in terms with 7 years of console innovation. So yeah, with that sort of stuff, maybe that's a reason for pads to be $65, $70 as standard, $80 as standard, pounds, should I say, as standard. Just going to quick look back through the chat because a lot's going on and I've not been looking at it. Also, next time, can you make it like Bibby is sitting on Graham's shoulder? I can try. For those of you listening to this on Spotify later on, obviously I'm sat kind of central, off to one side-ish on the screen, and Bibby's in a box near me. So yes, next time we will have Parrot Bibby just kind of like there somewhere.
That's brilliant.
So yes, so we have innovations in the controller. It's gonna be, I mean, that bit about higher battery capacity, USB-C charging. That's all well and good. Although I found my chargers pretty much, my pads pretty much hold charge more than that, and it's a bit like.
I mean, I get one playthrough of a game. Well, not a complete playthrough, but at least one session off my pad before I need to charge it again, which I'll just charge before I go to bed or after I finish playing. I don't think I've been, or maybe the Resident Evil stream that I did from the office where I just streamed for like 8 hours. Maybe that was the only time that I think I had to plug my controller in. But from the start to the end of the session, just a quick shout out to Next Gen Renegade for his Twitch Prime subscription. I very much appreciate that. I mean, 7 months.
7 months. What a guy.
But yeah, I think that's the only time that I think I've ever had to charge my pad up mid-stream or mid-session because it was over a certain amount of time. But it's very rare that I play the game for more than like 4 hours that I need to charge my pad up. So yeah, I mean, if you want to increase it, that's fine. But
yeah,
that's it for me.
Oh, we've got a host. Number 1 Pirate, thank you very much for the host, Pirate. And as Bibbs just said, then shout out to Next Gen Renegade for the subscription. Hopefully the audio levels aren't like intense, because I've literally dropped them down to about 10% volume. Obviously, we use Streamlabs OBS for our broadcast when I'm online, so hopefully it's not too loud for you. Let us know if it is. If it is too loud, then you know what, tough. It is what it is, mate. Sorry. No, we'll try and get the happy balance. And just wanted to point out as well that, do you know what? I really like McDonald's coffee. I don't know if you guys do or not, but it's refreshing.
Oh god, this is absolutely stinks of trying to sponsor us. Please, just, I mean, if I could have during this, like during the podcast in the morning, someone just walk in like a McDonald's employee, go, "Hi sir, here's your breakfast wrap." That'll be great. That and a nice coffee, yes please.
Do you know
I don't ask for much, but that's £4. Do you know what I mean?
If anyone out there knows Califia Farms, is that how I pronounce it? Then feel free to get them involved with Ice Cream Bloods, because that is some sexy ass coffee, and it's like almond milk as well, which I was like, not sure, but it's good. It's good,
tasty as well. Right, to finish off this PlayStation article then, so what they already know about the PlayStation 5 so far is that the console will still play physical games. That's brilliant. As a person who likes to collect games, that I couldn't be more happy with that. A solid state drive or SSD will be the standard in PlayStation 5, so hopefully that will speed up any kind of loading screens or booting into the game, booting up the system.
That is quite big, that one. I mean, the SSD, I mean, I didn't want to really focus on that because I think, thank you very much for the host, D-Mac. I didn't want to mention too much on that because that's what everyone else will be focusing on. I kind of wanted to pick other bits up. But that is ridiculous to go. Anyone that doesn't know the difference, and SSD is essentially a hard drive that can read faster. That's the simplest way to put it. So your games will load much faster, so you can have a lot more on it. Within the actual Wired article, to talk about, Mark Cherney was talking about how they had to create artificial slowdowns in games, so put doors and things that you have to open and put other items in your way that will slow you down, just so that the game processing time has a little bit more time to load up the next thing just around the corner that you couldn't see. So
that's why in the old Resident Evil games you used to have doors. You used to go out to a door, you'd press X, the door would then have the animation of just opening in like a black window around it, just to start to process the next room or the next area. That was quite unique at the time and pretty iconic now.
Connor did say in the chat, I read something about developers being able to change how hard you have to press the triggers in for them to activate, which would be awesome if you're low on health or something. It's harder, and it's harder to press the triggers in. Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't think of it that way. I read the article and just kind of went along the path that the text drove me in. It's like the triggers having what was the actual phrase that they used for it? See if I can see it in the article. I can't see it there, but basically the triggers are more resisting. That's not the word, but they have a little bit.
Yeah, they have further travel or something.
It's more a case of like, imagine the example they used is, imagine you're pulling a bow, and the further you pull the bow back, the harder it gets. Yeah. And they're saying that that's the kind of thing that developers can program in. They can program in how difficult the triggers become to press. So like Connor's saying there, like if you want to shoot, bang, 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 but then you've got low health and your strength's low, it suddenly becomes harder to press the trigger. And I'd not thought of it from that perspective. That's pretty cool.
Like a resistance on the trigger.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
So they can program the different levels of resistance in. Spike says, why are we in Graham's house? You'll have to, watch this back on YouTube in the next hour or so. Or maybe listen to it on Spotify, because we mentioned that at the beginning of the stream. So, yes. Nice one, babe. Nice one, babe.
It's all right. But yeah, he said, Connor's just said, I think they're calling it trigger adaptivity or trigger sensitivity.
Yeah, adaptive. That's the one. There you go, adaptive triggers. It's actually right there on the article in front of me. Do you know when you read the whole article, but that two words that you skip past?
They can't have that online though. They can't have that online unless it's standard for everybody.
Yeah,
that just be annoying as hell.
There's I know that Scuf controllers have something along that where you can choose, if you buy the controllers online, you can choose to have whatever that is in or out, and basically if you want any esports controllers, you just take it out completely. You just want boom, gone, no fuss, straight on.
To read through.
Fairlight says, if you live alone and hear a fart in the middle of the night that wasn't from you, do you laugh or get scared? Good question. We will answer that tomorrow on the scoop, so make sure you come back, Fairlight. Nice. Okay.
I'm going to read the rest of these 4 bullet points anyway, just to round this off so everyone knows what we're getting. So the PlayStation VR will still be compatible with the PlayStation 5. Again, that is an incredible move, because I was fearing, I really want PlayStation VR, but I thought, do you know what? They might end up bringing a new one out for PlayStation 5. But the fact that it's going to work with that, they may enhance it so that you might not need the sensors. It might become like the Oculus Quest, I think it was, where they don't have any wires. They may still bring another one out, but the fact that this one is going to be compatible with PlayStation 5 is quality. That's value for money then.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just had a host from Precision as well. Thanks for that, pal.
Cheers, Precision. That didn't come up on screen because we had the article up on screen that Bibby is reading through. Yeah, absolutely. I think VR, I'd love to play VR. We touched on VR yesterday as well. If you want to check that, you can check it out on YouTube and all of the podcast services, as well as on demand on Twitch. Yeah, VR, I definitely would love to see that move forward. It looked like it was going to be the big thing, and then it's kind of stalled. Hopefully, PSVR still being compatible with PS5 will allow developers to say, okay, we can invest in this. So that's good.
Awesome. So the PlayStation 5 will also have backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 4. My God, that is exactly what we want, mate. There's no even reason to get a Stadia. There's no reason to get an Xbox 2 or whatever it's going to be called, the Xbox 720. I don't care. This is where it's going to be at. They haven't mentioned anything about PlayStation 3, 2, or 1 yet, but hopefully they'll have some sort of, I don't know, virtual console like every other console seems to have. Like the Xbox One at the moment, they're doing so well, I think, because of Games Pass and the fact that you can play Xbox 360 games on it. If you've got a copy of Oblivion, slap it in your Xbox One, and you're able to go and play that. But at the moment, I can't play any PS3 games unless it's via PlayStation Now.
Yeah, I think particularly Xbox's efforts will have made Sony realise just how useful it is to have that level of backwards compatibility. I mean, the PS, was it the first PS3 had PS1 and 2 backwards compatibility, and then they took it away, and we've not really had it since. I mean, at that point in time, it was a loss because you wanted it, but not because you really saw the value in it. Whereas now I feel it's come on so much that people do want to go back and relive those glory moments in previous games and so on. And I think that PS4 backwards compatibility as well changes things in terms of you imagine playing The Last of Us Part 1 on PS3, and then PS4 comes out, you have to buy the remastered version. Just yesterday I was talking with the Adventurist, who I've seen in the chat. We were talking about GTA and having that on the last gen, and then it coming out on the new gen, and then buying it on the new gen, and then not really playing it, even though it was like you're paying full price for the exact same game again. That will either mean that games will just get the free HD upgrade, or I say HD 8K is what PS5 is going to have. It will either have that upgrade, or it'll be a case of, okay, pay for the 8K upgrade DLC for £7 as opposed to the £50 purchase, which is obviously only good for the end user in the fact that you don't have to just, okay, well, I've got it already, but I now need to add it to my library again to be able to play it again a bit shinier.
Yeah. So the Sony used PlayStation 4 titles, Marvel's Superman, to demo the console's faster loading capabilities to investors. I think that got mentioned in the Wired article from 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, it did.
And it was 3 or 4 times faster. So again, that's what the SSD is going to be doing for us. That's perfect. And also the PlayStation 5 supports 3D audio and will have 8K TV support. I don't even have a 4K TV. That's the only reason I didn't upgrade to a PlayStation 4 Pro, because I don't have a 4K TV. For me, there's 0 point. I've got a 1080p monitor, which is great, but what's the point if I can't use the console to its full potential?
Yeah, I mean, I have a PS4 Pro, and I've had it only for about 3 months for pretty much the exact same reason. We only switched to a 4K TV either last Christmas before, but didn't really need it. I mean, the difference was, you can see it, but it's not life-changing for me, particularly when I'm sat in my studio here, I have two 244 hertz monitors or whatever it is sat right in front of me. If you want to play gameplay that looks good, then 4K, yeah, absolutely. If you want to play gameplay where you play better, then you need something that's got higher refresh rates, less input lag, and that's where a gameplay monitor obviously has the edge. So, yeah, I mean, that is good, but that's future-proofing. That's probably going to be fully utilised by most people 4 years into the life cycle. That's what's going to be taken off the end of the life cycle, when you've got full 3D audio, 8K support in whatever Naughty Dog's next title will be in place of Uncharted, because that's usually due about 3 or 4 years in. But yeah, still good though.
I've just seen Spike's comment in the chat. So with the PS5, I'm guessing it will stick to the traditional PS5 games that won't work on PS4. only PS4 and PS5? Question mark. Pretty much a given, but I heard a rumor that there's games that they were going to make for both PS5 and PS4. Only PS4 will have use the lower settings like a PC does. I'd like to believe that. However, I don't think that they will, because I can't imagine how much, one, the dev time would be on that, and two, how advanced the PS4 would be to read the same disc and just think, yeah, okay, we'll boot it down to lower settings. Like on PC, when you put the disc in or download the game or whatever, it'll say use current settings, or what's the terminology that they use best settings or something like that. So it'll just read your motherboard, your graphics card, blah blah blah, and it'll just play with the settings that you think that your PC will be able to run faster or look better, depending on whichever one you want to choose. But as much as I'd like that, and it would benefit the people who still use the PS4 that can't afford a PS5 on launch, eventually it's just going to get to a point where, like they have done with the PS3 and the PS4, the PS3 and the 360, where they say, do you know what? No need to do any more of them games for this console. We're just going to focus on the current gen.
Yeah, I think if that's going to happen, it will probably be the other way, because if PS5 has backwards compatibility, rather than making a PS5 version that gets downscaled, I reckon it'll probably be more likely they'll release a PS4 version that is forwards compatible in that sort of sense. You can also play this on the PS5, essentially.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably go that way, because that way everything will come as standard lower, but then if you have the capabilities of the new generation, then that's when it'll be taken care of. I think that's potentially how it'll work.
Xbox make a massive deal about their backwards compatibility, so they'll release a massive news article, they'll put a load of social promotion about it saying this is now available on backwards compatibility, jump in now, or they'll include it with the games with gold or something like that. So if they're going to start using PlayStation Plus and giving away, I mean, this month's games PlayStation Plus is phenomenal. If they can start to do that where they can involve PlayStation 4 games when the PlayStation 5 comes out, again, that's a massive win for them, and a direction that you never know, they might end up stepping in or going forward in the future. Yeah,
there's a lot of games that I have that I already own that I might eventually get around to playing on the PS5, like God of War, like Horizon Zero Dawn, like Spider-Man, all these amazing games that I look forward to for months and then played probably an hour of each and then just never got time to go back to them. Yeah, so if they come onto it, then jump on them. But one of the questions in the chat from, I believe it was Next Gen Renegade, trying to find it now. What games do you think will release with the PS5, guys? It's funny you ask that, because this article that we had, let me bring it back on screen for you guys. There we go. PS5 games we think might already be in development. This is IGN's thoughts, not ours. So obviously the first one is... adverts. Yay, just what we like to see on screen. The first one is The Last of Us Part 2. Then Ghost of Tsushima. Cyberpunk 2077, Beyond Good and Evil 2, Neo 2, Marvel's The Avengers, Final Fantasy 7, Starfield. Was that The Elder Scrolls? And then back to The Last of Us. So that is their thoughts. I agree. I mean, I wouldn't have gone for all of those purely because I wouldn't. They're not my sort of realm. I definitely would have said The Last of Us. That's it. That's a given. And Avengers, I imagine that will too. Cyberpunk definitely. But yeah, I think all of those are a good shout, definitely. But you'll also get.
Yeah, I mean, go on. Sorry.
Oh, I'm losing. Bibby's turning into C3PO / R2D2, like turning like mechanical noise voice kind of thing. But yeah, I was gonna say you definitely will get some sport games crossing over. I think when we came to PS4, I think like that was like FIFA 14 launched. It wasn't. I can't quite remember. I remember the case. I remember it had Messi on the front cover, Barcelona shirt. I seem to think it was a stripped down version in terms of it was nice and it was sexy and it was full HD, all of the capabilities that the PS4 gave over the PS3, but I don't believe it was massively in depth. But then again, I'm not a massive FIFA player, so I don't really know. So I imagine we'll get some sports games though at the launch of it, definitely.
I'm just having a look at the games that are coming out soon, and DayZ. Now, I know that's been out on the PC for about 6 years, because I've had it since it came out. This is coming out on the Xbox and PlayStation on the 15th of October. I thought that game was already out.
Wasn't that just the Battle Royale thing?
Did they have a Battle Royale in DayZ?
Or am I getting it mixed up with World War Z?
Yeah, World War Z was like Left 4 Dead, but third person.
Yeah.
But DayZ was a phenomenal game when it came out. However, it went through so many changes that it seemed to have broken the game the more they tried to change on it, which annoyed me. I haven't played it for probably about 3 years now. So every time a zombie sees you, one, you can't outrun them, and two, they can walk through doors. So if they can walk through doors, I don't want to play it because one, I can't hide, and two, there's no way to defend myself because you get hit twice and you're dead. So yeah, it's not for me. But yeah, the Adventure Race
Like
DayZ is
PUBG.
on Xbox and PS4. However, it was more of a blue light beta. Okay, so it's like an early access game.
Just want
Gotcha.
to come back to a small conversation that was happening in the chat on twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. You guys on the podcast won't be able to see this, so just listen to the subtle audio description that this Yorkshireman gives you. Luke said, "I seem to have a strange urge to watch The Walking Dead right now." That's because this IGN has so much on-screen real estate advertising dedicated to the new season of Walking Dead on Fox. There's 3 different versions of the exact same advert, and then if I scroll back up to the top, there's another one! Yay! Well, let's get rid of that because we have Mr. Bamba subscribing for 17 months. 17 months. That's. Do you know
What a guy.
One more of those and he could have had 2 babies. Fact. Anyway, on that bombshell, we'll move forward a little bit. I need to get back to the news window. So the next article that we have, just bear with me. I'm just going to keep padding and talking. There we go. So the next article that we have, I'll bring it on screen for you guys again. Read it out for those in the chat. Doom Eternal has been delayed until March 2020, as well as Doom 64, which I believe was that just for Switch? It was an add-on anyway. But this is written by Matthew Reynolds for Eurogamer. So id Software has said that Doom Eternal, the follow-up to Doom's to 2016 Doom reboot, will miss its November the 22nd release date. To make sure we're delivering the best experience for Doom, Doom Eternal to live up to our standards of speed and polish, we've made the decision to extend our launch date by a few months to March 20th, 2020. So that's March 2020. Read a statement. We know many fans will be disappointed by this delay, and we're confident that Doom Eternal will deliver a gaming experience that is worth the wait. It also issued a few housekeeping notes to the delay. For one, the invasion mode, which allows players to enter another person's game as a demon, will be available as a free post-release update. The Nintendo Switch version of Doom Eternal, originally scheduled alongside the PS4, Xbox One and PC versions, will also release at a later unconfirmed date. Finally, id Software has said that Doom 64, which was confirmed during a recent Nintendo Direct for November 22nd, will be a Doom Eternal pre-order bonus on all platforms. There we go. And arrive on the same later release date of March the 20th, 2020. So, Doom delayed. Thoughts, Bib?
Well, for me, the Doom 64, I think that was a brilliant game. I can't see that being a mad issue. Like, what they could have done is still fair enough if the actual Doom game is been delayed for whatever reason. They could have still released this game on the 22nd of November. I don't see why that would hold up the actual Doom game. That game would just need a port and then a few changes around it. I don't see why it would necessarily have to wait another 5 months. It could have softened the blow by saying Doom 64 is going to still be coming out on the 22nd. Unfortunately, the rest of it will be March 2020.
I wonder if, knowing the internet and the gaming community and having to deal with issuing news for delays. So obviously, for those that don't know, we at Ice Cream, we all work for a company called Jelly, which is why we're called Ice Cream. Jelly and Ice Cream. I've said this many times, and I've got a strange fly in my... It's a moth. I have a moth. Goodbye, moth. Anyway, so we've dealt with a number of product releases for a number of different publishers providing social media campaigns, and within that, we've obviously had some games put back, and the internet likes to be toxic, let's put it that way. It likes to troll. So I wonder if they've thought of the, well, this isn't the game we want approach when they release Doom 64. People are going to see that as a, no, give us the one we want, not this one. And they've thought, you know what, let's just put everything back. So the internet, toxic never, says Big Zombie Monkey in the chat.
Me being a normal human being would have still liked, I thought, oh, Jesus, we haven't got this game, but they're still giving us this. We've pre-ordered, so they're still delivering on something. Because, I mean, it was a great game, but do you reckon people have pre-ordered it just to play Doom 64 again? I reckon at some point they're going to release it as standard, and it's going to cost, I don't know, £9 like Doom 3 was when they released that, along with Doom 1 and 2 on the Switch. But, I mean, just giving them something instead of nothing, fair enough, I don't know. I'm just, this is just normal thinking. Yeah, I would have liked to still playing that, but it's not going to fit me in any way, shape or form.
I think
I've seen Spike say, Doom yawn. Is anyone bothered about Doom these days? Yes,
That's,
I love.
that's what I was just about to
2016.
jump onto. I mean, them delaying it, if it needs to be done, it needs to be done. I mean, I personally don't have any issues with games being delayed. Yes, I feel, do you know what, I wanted to play that and now I've got to wait longer, but I'd rather wait a year to play a game that's good than have something just broken. There's no point in that. We've seen that many times with numerous games. One thing that just want to jump back a sec, because you mentioned Dad and Lad Gaming's comment of, is anyone bothered about Doom these days? His previous comment says, I heard remastered PUBG was going to be a release title for PS5, so we've not spoken about PUBG yet in this stream. Let's get this back. No, okay. Yeah, so is anyone bothered about Doom these days? I played, we did a show called An Hour With, and we do an hour with a certain game. We used to do that a few years ago, myself and Toby, at the very early days of Ice Cream Uploads. And I played it. I quite liked it. Didn't play any more than the first hour, but I quite liked it. I wouldn't say it's something that I would massively look forward to, but it's something that I would quite happily play because it's just in your face, over the top.
Yeah.
It's
it.
It's Doom basically, and
Doom's Doom.
And oh no, pointing the wrong way. This guy right here has said that he likes Doom and has said that. Have you played through it, or have you been meaning to play through the 2016
No,
one
I'm
again?
about halfway through it. Things obviously keep on getting in the way. I only picked it up like 2 months ago. I wanted to play it when it came out originally in 2016. I just never got round to playing it. However, I've got a PC that makes it look incredibly good on it. Fair enough, it's still not in 4K, but yeah, when you're still ripping things' heads off and whatever else, demons, and stabbing them in the face, it still looks brilliant. So yeah, Doom is Doom. It's very much run and gun, get better weapons, get more armor, get more health, find the boss, stab him in the face, and then move on to the next area. What more can you ask for in a Doom game?
Doom just got old fast. If people still like it, then I'm happy for them. But the latest Doom just felt generic as hell, says Big Zombie Monkey in the chat. And in response to that, why so negative? What's with the doom and gloom? I'll see
Christ.
myself out.
You can
says
tell he's a
Giuseppe.
dad, can't you? Christ.
I mean, I wouldn't have gone that low, but yeah, it is what it is. Did you just break an egg in the studio then? Because it sounded.
No. When I'm sat on the stage, I like to be quite low, so my legs are on the floor. However, the amount of wires that gets run at the side of this, I just keep on catching it with my right foot as I'm closer.
I absolutely believe you. BK Connor says, I think I heard him audibly chuckle when he was typing that. Oh no, I thought he was talking about you then, laying that non-egg that you absolutely just laid. But before we move on from Doom Eternal, one other thing to mention, which I've already shouted out to the CI Games guys in the chat. No doubt that will be good news for them, because Doom Eternal scheduled to be released on the 22nd of November. Obviously that's slipped. That comes out on the same day as... let me rotate.
I'm just going to fill in a bit of time while Graham runs
Just going
off.
to have a drink of my sniper. It's beer and it's sealed. But camera. There we go. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts. I picked that up at Gamescom.
I've got one of them.
We're working with the contracts guys, and Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts comes out on November 22nd. So good news for Sniper Ghost Warrior. A free run on that game, and yeah, I think we should all go and try it. Full disclosure, we obviously work on that. So yeah. There you go. AT_CI Games with a smiley face in the chat. Hey. So yeah, there you go. Good news for CI, and yeah, good news for Doom as well, because two games not competing for the limelight in what's arguably a very busy period of the year. So CI gets a clean run, and then Doom gets to have a go next year when everyone's still knee deep in The Last of Us. So yeah, good luck with that. Nah, it'll be a month after. It's fine. What were you going to say anyway? I interrupted you quick. You have to drink my beer on stream.
No, I've just seen Dad and Lad post a link in there. PlayStation 5 rumored list of launch titles includes Gran Turismo 7, Black Ops 5, and a PUBG remaster. Surely the PUBG remaster, or whatever it's going to be called, is going to be coming out on the PC first. They're not going to release a remaster just for console, surely. So if that was a rumor that was true, it'd already be being said for the PC. I don't know.
I have that link. I've just got it there. So, rumor list.
Gran Turismo 7, yeah. Black Ops 5, yeah. Cool. Go on.
And a PUBG remaster, but no GTA 6. I mean, all that kind of sounds fine, but a PUBG remaster, I'm not sure. See, I mean, myself, I would say that PUBG Corp, if they were looking to breathe life back into PUBG and get more players in, I don't think a remaster is the way you'd go around that. I think the audience that you're targeting, surely you want to be going for full-on PUBG 2. Because that's the way you get people back in. Because if you keep adding to a game that people have played, there's always that sense of, I've been there, I've tried it, it was broken on my Xbox, I'm not going to play it again. Which is, having a game in early access on PC is fine. Having a game in early access on console, that user base just isn't conditioned to accept that the game they're playing is cheap, and the reason it's cheap is because it's not out yet. So yeah, PUBG Remastered this time, your legs are connected to your body and buildings appear before you land on them. Exactly.
That's also a great shout.
Exactly. That's the early access kind of thing. A lot of people have had the bitter taste of the early access because that doesn't happen on console. PC gamers, full on, they like the fact that they are part of that process of making a game improve. I mean, a lot of people won't know what PUBG was like when it first came out. It was like flat wall buildings that had no texturing really on them, and it was pants. The audio was off, everything was off. But PC players went through that. Console guys won't know that, and that's what makes them think it's the game that it was when it first released. However, it's much better now, but you're not going to convince them without adding some simple marketing tool on the end, like 2 or new PUBG or next PUBG. They need to realise this is different, but the same. And without that level of difference, then simple marketing. I'm not sure a remaster is the way to go. But then again, PUBG's made a game that sold bajillions and bajillions. So what do I know?
Did you watch that documentary that was on Jinx from Origins?
I have it on my Sky Plus, but my Sky Q job, but
brilliant.
I've not watched it yet.
Obviously, when you get a chance, anybody else who's active in how games or the history of esports and stuff like that, go into Jinx on Sky. I think they put some of them on YouTube as well. But there's a program called Origins, and it goes through obviously the origin stories of how games came about. And the PUBG one was brilliant. It was just some bloke. I didn't know this, but it was just some bloke that skinned down an armor mod, and then made a battle royale off the back of that because he ended up watching the Japanese film Battle Royale or whatever it was called. I'm sure it was just called that. And then it just got bigger and bigger, and then eventually it ended up signing with Blue Hole, and then it went on from there. And it was just some bloke that worked in his bedroom in Ireland.
Brendan Green.
From there, but it's awesome. Like they don't just do PUBG. They've done everything pretty much, like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. But it's a really interesting series if you can catch it. If you've got Sky, they're all on demand, so you'll be able to pick them up. But yeah, definitely watch that.
Precision says, blaming the wires. Classic, baby.
Well, you got to blame something, haven't you? And you're not here, so...
Spike says, you mean like the culling when they made the culling 2? That worked, Kappa. Yeah, but PUBG was successful. The culling wasn't. Next Gen Renegade says the sequel for PUBG could be called PUBH.
Standard.
So that's what I was chuckling at a minute ago, but yay! Don't know how legit that is, but there's a few articles saying PUBG remastered. I mean, it could be the case. I'm not saying it isn't. I'd say I wouldn't have gone that way.
No.
But... I mean,
I think again, if it was to come out, if there was a remaster, it'd be happening on the PC first. I think. Would you go out on a limb and say that PC players are a lot more patient than console players when it comes to early access stuff?
Yes, I believe you get. They are patient with it. I think you have more success doing early access on PC than you do on console. I do feel that you do have a life cycle though. I don't know what that is. It might be a year, it might be 2 years, and if your game still isn't perfect or feels perfect to an extent by that point, then people just you fall into that. Well, this game's always going to be in early access. It's shit, not bothered. So you have to progress and come out of early access by that point.
That was my opinion on DayZ anyway. After waiting that long, now it's eventually coming out properly, or whatever. But yeah, I was in early access with that game for about 4 years until I was like.
I think.
Nope.
I mean, I never played DayZ, and apart from a conversation that I had with you and a PUBG streamer that I watch called Break, he was a massive DayZ guy. He came from DayZ before PUBG, and he goes back to it every now and then and plays it. I mean, we've had conversations on this. I'm looking over there because Bibby's over there on my screen, but in my screen. So we have had conversations on this previously. But he's saying it's 7 years now. The game's been in early access for 7 years. It's not early access, that's a full console generation. So, yeah. PC players definitely are more receptive to early access. They like the fact that they can help shape the game going forward. But don't take the piss, mate. 7 years is a long time. So let's move on. And speaking about games that have been around for a long time. I'll let Bibby talk on this one because he's played it and I haven't even heard of it until we started talking about it this morning. So let's bring the article full screen.
So this morning when I was trying to find some sick articles to talk about with things that may interest people, because obviously we don't want to just cater for ourselves, but a fan-made browser game is Pokemon Player's Secret Weapon. Now, this is an article that's written on Kotaku by Ben Sledge. Basically, someone has made a browser game for Pokemon battles. So it's online only. There's no story mode. There's no nothing. It's literally just sign into the game, and then you can just pick whatever Pokemon you want from the gens, and then battle anybody else. And there is a leaderboard on there as well, so that's pretty cool. You can download an application or you can just run it in your browser. But I'll read through the first 2 paragraphs of this for you just so you can get a little taster of what it's about. Around 1 million players a month are throwing down in Pokemon Showdown, a fan-made browser-based game that recreates a battle found in Pokemon games with accurate stats. It's arguably even better than using the official games to battle, since it's faster and more customizable. Showdown is so good that professional players are even using it to practice for Nintendo's official tournaments. Much of Showdown's appeal is a matter of convenience. When trying to find a battle on BattleSpot, Pokemon official in-game battling service, the first thing you notice is a lengthy wait before you can find an opponent, which can last up to 10 minutes. Not so in Showdown. Thanks to the sheer quantity of players, the wait for an in-browser battle is rarely more than 5 or 10 seconds. So, Graham, if you can scroll down for me on your screen, you can see what the game looks like when you load it up. There's like a window. You can choose what gen Pokemon you want. You can do a random battle, so it picks Pokemon for you. You can make a team of whatever Pokemon you want. You can choose randomized metas, as you can see there, so you can use a battle factor. Partners in crime. It is actually a really good game. It's quite fast, to be fair, as you would expect from a browser game. But I played 1-1-1, currently undefeated, which basically means that I'm the very best, like no one ever was.
Do.
I love it.
I wanna be
But yeah, it's good. It's got a lead. I didn't when I was playing.
To catch them is my. Sorry, you continue.
It's all right,
train them is my. Okay, yeah.
Karaoke Wednesdays. But yeah, I didn't realise when I loaded up the application that you can just battle without creating an account. You can just type your name in and then you can play as a guest, or you can actually register, create a full account, and then you get access to the leaderboards. I didn't do that until I actually won, but then my information carried over, which was nice, so I didn't have to redo the first battle again. But yeah, it was just paired up against someone straight away, and it picked me 6 Pokemon. I didn't know who there was. There was generations of Pokemon that I have absolutely no idea about. I'm Gen 1 through and through.
Absolutely.
A little bit of Gen 2 in there as well. But yeah, I know my beans about Gen 1, not Gen 2. And forward. But yeah, it was good. It just picked me 6 random Pokemon. I had a look at the moves. It gives you all the stats. It says that the stats are realistic. And I mean, if esports players are going to be starting to play this, because there is real Pokemon tournaments that people use their 3DS. I think that was the last one that was used. I don't think there was an esport in Pokemon on Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. But real people are using this, and I can't imagine it lasting that much longer before it gets shut down. Because Nintendo are pretty savvy about this stuff. They don't like their IPs being used on anything else but stuff that they want to release. So I can't imagine this lasting much longer. But yeah, from what I played so far, if you are into Pokemon and you like battling, then 100% just have a quick look. It'll take you 5 minutes to play a match. That's it. No messing about. Straight in 5 minutes. If you don't like it, you can move on. It's easy as that.
I find this kind of thing bizarre because there's so much. Clearly, I mean, we know it. How many times people spoken about Pokemon Go whenever a new mobile game gets announced. Do you know? Actually, I don't think we mentioned Pokemon Go when we were talking about Mario Kart yesterday. If we didn't, then that's quite incredible. But like,
no,
whenever
show did, but it was made by Niantic.
Ah, yeah. I remember now. But like that game, because it started with the first generation, there's so much love for that generation in particular. Yeah. But Pokemon in general, as this shows, it gets millions of players per day. I'm just going to scroll back, see if I can find. It did mention a stat. I'll leave the stat. Anyway, lots of people are playing this game because it's a much better service. It's faster. There's more people playing it than Nintendo's own products. And
Yeah.
I mean, when I say Nintendo, that loosely and lazily includes Game Freak within that, because I know Game Freak technically own Pokemon, not Nintendo. I don't quite know the ins and outs of that relationship, so not the best to comment. But there's a game missing, not just one. This shows me there's more games missing. For people that like Pokemon, and I love the first generation massively. I mean, I'm level 40 in Pokemon Go. I'm still playing it every day. I span my stop on the way to school with my little one this morning, my daily challenges and stuff, obviously. But like, I'm past my point of loving it, because we're into, I think, the Unova region now, which I know from watching some of the TV series with my little one, but not as much as I know Gen 1. However, all this time, all that way through it, I still don't have what I want from Pokemon. I want GTA. I don't want GTA, but I don't want to go around like mugging old ladies for their Pokemon and things like that. Give me your Sandshrew, yoink! I want to be able to walk around in a full, not just a top-down sort of 3D world, because the new games are good, like Let's Go Eevee and so on, good, and I expect the same for what were the new ones? Is it Sword and Shield? Are they the new ones?
Yeah, they're the ones that are coming out. Yeah.
So I expect that they are probably worlds ahead. But I want my sort of game. I want like a third person street level sort of looking around. I want to walk into the Pokemon. I want to, and maybe that includes the turn taking battles that clearly is massively successful, as this website shows. People still love that turn taking. They want to have that battle. But maybe there is another version where we get the actual, like Pokemon, was it Pokemon Arena that used to be on the 64, where you actually could Stadium, that's the one, where you could have the fight. I mean, I want that kind of thing.
No, they've got that in Pokemon Tournament, but like Connor's just mentioned there, a Legend of Zelda universe with a Pokemon version of that would be perfect. I mean, I think people are probably getting bored of this formula now. It's exactly the same thing every time, just with newer Pokemon. You go to this place, you battle this person, your enemy comes in, he's got worse Pokemon than as you go through to the leagues, blah blah blah. Now they have mixed up that formula slightly, so there's going to be about, I think, 18 gyms in Sword and Shield, and there's also going to be a Pokemon League rather than it being the final 4 battles at the end of what they usually are. But yeah, I mean, an open world game for Pokemon is, I think, the ideal situation for people who enjoy playing older Pokemon. I think Pokemon was the first RPG that I ever played. Now, fair enough, it's boiled down, and it's nothing like what Final Fantasy is, like Final Fantasy VII was, which I think was the first main RPG that I ever played. But Pokemon was the quintessential RPG. I didn't know of any other game that did turn-based battles until, obviously, Final Fantasy, and that came about when I was a little bit older. But yeah, I do think they need to change the Pokemon formula at some point, because it is just repetitive. And the only reason I bought the last Pokemon game was because I knew it was going to be Gen 1. It's going to be an upscaled version of it. It looks great. I can play it on my Switch. I can play it on the TV if I wanted to. And I did enjoy playing that game. Never got around to finishing it, though, so I think that probably speaks volumes.
I want to suggest that we probably, maybe not, but maybe in the future we think about having a Scoop special where we look at all of the demand for a Pokemon, like almost sandboxy third-person open world kind of game, because there's, you look at the games that have been modded. I mean, PC gaming community loves to mod a game, but you've had Pokemon in Ark, you've had Pokemon in GTA. People have built their actual own open world third-person Pokemon games where you can run around. And I
played that one. I streamed that one on this channel.
Oh, did you? Well, there you go.
Pokemon MMO. It was. I did it last year. It was actually a really good game. I started off with the Bulbasaur, because what else are you going to start off with?
Minecraft. There you go. Charmander, by the way. Charmander, always Charmander. But let's keep going.
But yeah, it's a really good game. It's not that demanding on your PC. So if you did want to try it out, it's just got Pokemon MMO. It is a really good game. You've got actual stuff to do. You can encounter with Pokemon, so you run around as your third person, your Bulbasaur's following you. As soon as you see an enemy, you click the enemy, and then it engages into a Pokemon battle where, just like an all MMO, you're pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your keys, and you can start to use your abilities. Your abilities get better as you level up. It's just basically a Pokemon game, but in a 3D environment in an MMO, and it was great. I enjoyed it.
Well, see, the fact that has been, and is that the one that has that one stopped? Because I know there's been at least 2 or 3 different versions of Pokemon like
I don't know.
open worldy games that
just Google it
has
now.
started and then probably had cease and desists from either Nintendo or Game Freak or both, or the developers have just realised actually this is going to take me a shed load of time and I can't release it officially and I probably can't make money off it because then I will get a cease and desist. So, but there's a demand for it. Make it happen. Make it happen. Another thing that I want to suggest as well for ice cream content is, have you ever seen the I think it's Lad Bible dramatic readings where they get that deep American voiced guy to read things out that people have said. So it'd be like United have lost, and it's like Ollie's at the wheel, blah, 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 but he reads through tweets. We need to do that, but with Alistair's comments in chat.
Yeah, he absolutely. Did you hear his? I don't know if he's posted it socially yet, but he had to do with Morrison's last week. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, it's absolute gold. I'm not going to read it out on here. It's nothing.
Oh, I've lost you, baby.
David, isn't it?
Oh, there
Basically,
we go.
yeah, he tried to buy a cheese and onion roll and ended up eating a sausage roll. Now, as a vegetarian, that's kind of a bad thing, even though it was advertised as the other thing. So he written a nice little letter to Morrison's. But yeah, it's I'll show you socially in a bit. It's brilliant.
There we go. Connor says Paddy Power fan denial. That's what it is. That's what it is. But like, imagine fan denial's voice saying, "Love Daisy, died cooking a chicken, kind of forgot about the zombies." Like that with the PUBG remaster. This time your legs are connected to your body and buildings appear before you land on them. Love hard. That kind of thing. That's how it will. That's how it would work. Anyway.
I found the game anyway.
PUBG MMO.
No, not PUBG. PUBG MMO. Pokemon MMO.
That's the one.
But yeah, I found that. In fact, I can drop that in the chat for. Yeah, that's the Pokemon game that I was playing. It was decent.
The story of the mystery meat, my cheese and onion surprise.
It's brilliant. It's genius. You need to post it socially so everyone else can read it, Alistair. Well, yeah. Again, if you are interested in just Pokemon battles without having to go through about 17 different towns, and you enjoy playing against other people, you want to learn more about your Pokemon. If you are an esports star and you haven't found this game yet, go and find it. It's decent. You still just got to Google Pokemon Showdown, and you'll be able to come to it.
Nice. And now
Speaking of nice, I can see Sep's just hosted us as well. I appreciate that, buddy.
Everyone that's joining us from all the hosts, I know we've had a few, Sep, Precision, DMAC, and I believe there was a few more as well. Everyone that's joining us for the host, thank you very much for being here. If you like what you see, please feel free to hit the follow button. It's somewhere kind of like, wrong hand, it's about there maybe? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm nowhere, but we'll say it's there. So yeah, hit that follow button. Do it. Thank you very much for the socials link in the chat. Here on Twitch.
Looks like we've got... Oh, sorry, I jumped in there. Sorry, mate.
I was going to say here on twitch.tv Ice Cream Uploads, which then brings me on to our next article, which is about Twitch. Oh, wow, I hear you say, well, it's almost like you knew that you were going to do that. So yeah, let me see if I can get this full screen for you guys again. So our next article, which we kind of are in a weird situation in terms of commenting on this. We don't have the same situation as the people that it mentions in the headline, which is Twitch partners are feeling burned after years after affiliates receive features that took them years to earn. And the reason, let me get rid of this again while I carry on waffling. The reason I say that we don't have the best standing point, our opinions aren't necessarily as valid in this because we are a Twitch partner channel, but we are quite a small Twitch partner channel. Most people don't get partnered at this level. The reason we have this level of partnership is because of the partnership, and I'm well distracted by like this sort of CSGO gameplay. It's like some sort of meme video, but anyway, I'm trying to ignore that. But yeah, we didn't have to go through the hoops that most people do have to do to get Twitch partnerships. So Pezet Live, who just hosted us, he is a Twitch partner channel. He went through creating content day after day after day, making streams, creating new ideas to get people into his chat, that consistency to get his viewer base up and doing that sort of stuff. That he's earned the right of being a Twitch partner. We haven't in that sense. That said, we've got Twitch partnership because we've done a lot of stuff, live international esports events, working with promotion with Twitch, so we have earned it just in a different way. But that's why I say it kind of changes our validity in the opinion. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. Your own opinion is 100% valid for you. So yeah, we can have an opinion. So screw that. So Twitch partners are feeling burned after affiliates are receiving features that took them years to earn. Okay. I'll bring this back on screen and I'll read through what the article said.
Just to piggyback off the back of what you said though, like obviously we've got the Twitch partner. We didn't need to do the affiliate stuff, but that's because of what we've done outside of Twitch and we're alongside Twitch to be able to host tournaments and whatever. So we've kind of brought esports tournaments to the forefront of people's minds. They'd be able to go onto Jinx and watch it, go onto Twitch and watch it. So we may not have been on the platform doing what we're doing now on our own channel, but at some point we've helped Twitch gain interest in games that maybe wouldn't have been advertised on there. So we've done our bit, but not necessarily the same direction or same path that people have to go down to be able to stream within a 30-day period or gain 75 viewers. We've hosted tournaments that have had 3,000 people watching it over 3 or 4 days in the tournament. So yeah, we've done our bit to get the partnership. We've just taken a different route.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that probably makes our take a little bit. Not when I say less valid, that's probably not the right terminology because that says we have no point commenting. We do have a reason to comment, and we do have some valid points there. It's probably more useful in an essence because we're giving you a different angle. A Twitch partner that has been a partner forever and maybe feels bitter about it will have a different opinion from us. That's a Twitch partner that's gone down a different avenue. So different. Adding different voices into the mix. So let's go back to the article. So this article from Kotaku, written by Nathan Grayson, says... what are you laughing at this?
No, this is Grand Theft Auto. That guy just got cleaned out.
Oh, that's what I was on about.
For anyone who's listening, as we're on this Kotaku, they've got like a video at the side, and I'm just seeing like a pack of wolves just ripping someone apart.
That's what I when I said I had to jump back and ignore it. There was something GTA-ish going on as well. So that recent video stuff is it's quite distracting. Anyway, let's scroll past that. So this article says there are Twitch streamers and then there are Twitch streamers. The platform has tiers: hobbyists, affiliates, and partners. The latter two titles must be earned though. Lots of successful streaming through lots of successful streaming, and they come with perks that directly impact a streamer's ability to make a living. Now, with the gulf between affiliates and partners closing, tensions are on the rise. Late last week, Twitch announced that starting June 15th, affiliates will get paid 15 days faster and we're able to create custom badges for their subscribers. On their own, these features are nice, but they're not earth-shattering. The issue in the eyes of many is that they bring affiliates even closer to achieving feature parity with partners who ostensibly represent Twitch's highest echelon. Some partners are tearing their superhumanly shiny hair out about this because the affiliate program is relatively new, and prior to its inception, some of them had to stream for years before they gained access to partner perks. Now, these young upstarts, they say, are getting almost everything that partners have without having to put the work in. So, I mean,
I've got an opinion on this straight off the bat after reading that. They're an affiliate for a reason.
I can't bring it back. There we go. That's the one I wanted.
They're an affiliate for a reason. There is a reason why they're a new streamer, or they could have been streaming for years, maybe not had the traction that they probably deserve because they are actually a decent streamer playing a game that perhaps many people might not be interested in, or they're just a terrible streamer and they don't deserve to have the partner status. There's one of 3 different ways there. Like, I don't understand why partners are getting entitled about this kind of thing. If someone's kicking off their career as a streamer and they've got access to these things, yeah, fair enough. If they're going to start running ads just to be able to try and get money in, they're only going to run ads to maybe 1 or 2 people in the chat. That's not going to earn them anything. So they can feel they can be aggrieved all they want. It's only going to help people. It's not going to help the people who are affiliates that aren't earning anything, or they don't because they're not going to earn anything. They might be able to earn some sub badges. People have to sub to be able to use them. So
yeah, and they're only going to sub if the content is entertaining or useful or informational.
Exactly.
So the content is what earns them the sub. not necessarily the facility to use it. It's about the streamer's ingenuity behind that. You're talking about Twitch partners. We can have a comment from a Twitch partner, as Pezep Live is in the chat, who is a Twitch partner, says, I think Twitch affiliates getting great features similar to partners does not take away anything from partnered streamers. It's more about being a consistent creator rather than being partnered or affiliated. That's just my opinion.
Couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better myself.
I think adding those features in just gives them a lot more to work with. I mean, just because they have access to sub badges and have access to emotes and have access to all these other things doesn't necessarily mean they're going to use them. You still, as a creator, have to have your 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months sub badges designed and then add them to the website. You then have to get your sub emotes designed and put into the website. You then have to entertain people enough to make them subscribe to unlock both of those perks. So just because they exist doesn't necessarily mean that you as a streamer are now successful. Well, there, you're an affiliate, therefore you have won the internet. Goodbye. No, that's not how being an affiliate works.
Yeah, no, to become an affiliate, you need 50 followers and average 3 viewers per stream, streaming 8 hours across 7 days within a 30-day period. That is, eventually you're going to hit that. Like, if you end up playing games that for me, I'm just trying to get my words out properly here. So, if I wanted to become a FIFA streamer, the chances of me becoming a top-tier FIFA streamer now are pretty much dead in the water because I'm going to be a very small fish in an extremely big pond of people that have 300. Like a friend of the show, Grayson, is probably streaming now with how many? 3,500 people are watching him, and then you got Counter Strike that 2,500 people are watching them. Elder Scrolls 59 people are watching them. So to become a decent streamer where people want to go to watch your content, if you're going to a game that's hugely popular and you're just starting out, chances are, unless you might have one person clipping it and then posting it and using social media to try and get people to watch you, you're probably not going to get that many people watching to begin with. You can be as consistent as you want. You just need to be good.
Yeah.
If you can stream 7 days a week, 6 hours, but if you aren't someone who people want to come back and watch because either you're entertaining or extremely good at the game, that's tough. And this is me speaking from a perspective where I get to stream and we have people in the chat that want to come and watch us. We have people who engage with us on social media. So you could say we're in a privileged position. However, it didn't always be like this. We've come to a point where people want to watch our stuff because we're either good in front of the camera or they like our ideas, either having inaugural tournaments or having invitationals. People want to watch our stuff because we've started to entertain people, not necessarily because we are fucking awful at games. So it's just having it's a privileged position that we're speaking from, but it's not as if we haven't earned it.
No, I agree, and let's pick up some comments on this because this obviously is a very pertinent subject. Being all Twitch streamers or Twitch viewers, at least within the chat, most of the guys that are commenting do make their own content, so have a good angle to come from. Big Zombie Monkey says, "Meh, balls to the big streamers. They've become so entitled at times. It's a joke." Connor says, "Personally, the way I see it, someone else having ad revenue doesn't affect the partner's channel. The partner's revenue are all their content. So if they just focus on themselves, nothing has changed for them." Next comment from Dad and Lad Gaming, who streams, as you'd expect, a Dad and Lad content. He streams with his son fairly often. So he says, "We hardly get anyone watching us as it is. Giving me partnership now wouldn't help. I don't understand the problem." Exactly. That's the thing. Just dropping. And we have a tick on our channel, but we don't have 3,500 people in our chat. We have the ability to give 3,500 people sub emotes and so on. Just because it's there doesn't change anything. And I think the thing is as well. It's almost like I see it as the old man syndrome. Like you don't even know you're born. Back in my day, but like back in the day, you speak to streamers that are big streamers that are established that went through this 5 years ago to get partnership. It was cloak and dagger. It was so like they would get. They'd look at this and it'd be like, you need 10,000 followers or you need 500 concurrent viewers for 3 months or whatever the high bar was back then, and they'd achieve this, and then they'd apply, and then they'd wait, and then they'd get rejected, and then be like, okay, well, I'm now smashing it, I'll apply again, and they'd wait and they get rejected. And I think it's probably because, probably, I mean, I don't work for Twitch, so I don't know, but I get the impression that Twitch, particularly following on from Justin.tv, was a little bit more less organised than what it probably is now with Amazon steering the ship. So it's probably a case of it was difficult, but not because they wanted it to be difficult as such. It was probably a little bit of, okay, this has gone massive and we don't really know how to deal with this at this point. Whereas now, Amazon are involved and it's like, okay, Twitch doesn't necessarily always focus on games, but it usually does. And do you know what? People like games. People like that idea of that content. So how about we make Twitch into a game? How about we gamify the experience for a streamer and their audiences? So I know that, okay, I'm going to sub. I'm going to get my sub badge, and I'm going to get access to new emotes. And I know that if I gamify and play this game for 3 months, my sub badge is going to change to something better that other people haven't unlocked. And that's it. They've realised that people watched Justin.tv and then watched Twitch because they wanted to get involved in games. So making the whole process a game and giving people more structured levels to do that, there's no bad thing about that. And I don't doubt there are still significant differences between partnerships and so on. If you're a partner and you're an established partner, you'll probably get more revenue share from the sub donations than an affiliate would. So therefore you're still getting fundamentally the thing that is different. If you're doing it as a business, as a career, as a lifestyle, you are getting more share. I mean, I assume that's the case. So I say you probably will be getting more money from your content than an affiliate would. So that is the key thing, really. Having more things for your chat is kind of not really relevant. It's what you're doing for your chat and whether you're bringing more people in. That's the bit that's the matter, and you don't need to be an affiliate to do that. So
well, that just comes down to common sense. If you're building a community, engage with people, you either do that by going live every single day at 10 o'clock, so everyone knows where you're going to be. And that's a nice little plug to say that we are live every single weekday at 10 o'clock. But people know now that we're going to be live every day at 10 o'clock. They want to come into the chat, and we'll have a conversation about the stuff that we're talking about now or tomorrow's headlines, whatever that might be. But building a community away from media and letting them know that you are going to be going live, we have got some content coming for you. That's down to you. That's down to you as a person, whether or not you are going to be extremely nice to people and you want to be people's friends. You want to treat them all nicely, and then you end up becoming friends, and then they come in to support you in the chat. They come in to watch your content. That's just being nice, and then being friendly, and people want to watch you and you want to hang out. Like when we play PES, we invite people to come in to play co-op with us. That's just building our community based on what we know best. We might not be the best at video games, but we want to be there for people who want to just listen to us talk shit for an hour and a half every single day.
That's all we ever do.
But even if we didn't have this partner status now, we're going to be in exactly the same situation. I don't know how many people are watching this now or how many people are going to be listening to this podcast, but we do it because we enjoy doing it and we like the people who want to come into our chat and engage with us, regardless of whether or not we've got a tick next to our name.
Let me just use that to bring Pezek back into the chat. In my experience, new streamers should focus on growing first, having a sweet-looking channel, doing some good networking with interesting personality and content, and then think about revenue, not the other way around, which is exactly the same thing. I mean, we at Ice Cream Uploads, I mean, as you can see, this guy this guy just here. Obviously, look at him sat in there. You can see he's got that Blue Yeti mic on the desk in front of him. He's got Ice Cream Uploads jersey. That's exclamation mark merch in the chat. That's the esports jersey from Games Apparel. So we had to pay for that Blue Yeti microphone. We had to pay for those blue uplights that are multicolored uplights. We can change the color to whatever color we want on the RGB scale. And you see that blue wall behind him? That's in our studio. That has 2 TVs mounted in the desk, and all that gets paid for. Yes, we do that out of Jelly's pocket, but we aren't making money on that. We're doing that because it's a creative outlet for us guys to be able to make content, and yeah, for us it's kind of one of those investor in people things. We aren't thinking, okay, we need to do this because we need to earn this back. We are out of pocket for the content that we create. It's as simple as that. And we probably will be, if not forever, for at least the long foreseeable future. It'll be then. I mean, Do you know what? Buy the shirts. Please buy the shirts. Buy all the shirts. If you
keep
want...
me in a job. Keep me in a job. Keep me in a job.
Subscribe to the channel.
No, yeah. So I mean the subs and stuff do help because obviously we can't keep throwing money into things forever, and we are doing things personally. I'm sat in my home studio here now, and I've put my own money into setting this up. Rip my ears. Sorry, Spike. I'm sorry for everyone listening to the podcast. That was probably got stupidly loud. Last stream, and yeah, this is the last stream unless we get 5 gifted subs. There's Connor in the chat. Exactly, right now. But please, gift the subs, gift all the subs. No, we will lose money on this, and we'll continue to lose money on this. We all put our own time into this. I'm going to be streaming my own time this evening at 6 o'clock, and that's not because I'm chasing the revenue back for it. It's not because I've got these features that affiliates can't have and I want to show it in their faces. It's because I want to enjoy... I do enjoy creating the content. I enjoy having a little bit of chat. I enjoy ripping Spike's ears in the streams as well. I mean, that sort of stuff. It's that engagement, that interaction, and the fact that we can do it on a smaller base. If that grows into something, then perfect, wonderful. If that grows into something sustainable that we can manage and keep the relationships with our community, that's the key thing. It's not about getting more people, more functions, and having more badges than affiliates and stuff. That's irrelevant. It's have fun and provide a good show and have fun interacting with the people there. That's kind of the fundamentals of Twitch. Yes, it is a game. Yes, you are competing for viewers. Yes, there's only a set amount of people. But it's also a community. It's getting the balance between that, being successful enough for yourself. But the game allows you to provide better stuff for your community, and that's the offset. It doesn't matter what tools you've got or not. It's how you play the game. Time to play the game!
Right, so we've got one more article left to go for today. I mean, this show is a lot longer than it was yesterday, but, you know, we're having a good time. So the last one, then we've got Ronaldhino enters partnerships with Scuf Gaming. Now, those of you that have been watching PES League last year will know that there was a team in there called Illegal Soul, which was represented by Mr. Ronaldhino himself. So we'll start off with the article from Esports Insider from Cody. How do you pronounce that name? Luongo?
Yes.
Is that what we're going with?
Cody Luongo.
Yes. Nailed it. Brazilian former professional footballer, Ronaldinho. Not reading the rest of that because everyone knows him.
Ronaldo de Assis Moreira. I actually know that name off by heart. I can't remember why. And Kaká is Ricardo Izexon dos Santos Lita. There you go. Bam. Anyway.
I just make up names as I go along. Don't know. Where did the Dino come from then?
Because he's called Ronaldo. His dad will have been called Ronaldo. And Inho is small. So it's like it's like being called Michael and Michael Jr. So that's why you get. I think it's like Ronaldo, and then Ronaldinho, and then there's like a feminine version of it as well, or something like that. I don't quite know, but yeah, essentially that's it.
So we need like a little bit here that we go learning with Graham Day, and we press it, and then like the doc has. It comes up.
Exactly.
That go up. Every time you drop a fact in there, learning with Graham Day.
Bam.
So Ronaldinho's entrance into the esports took place in October 2018 when he launched the Liga Sul, a Pro Evolution Soccer league designed to host competitions around 26 countries. I think the one's just finished as well, and funnily enough, Pirates in the chat who actually came back from one. I think it was held in China.
And it says E-Liga Sul, wink.
Yeah, so in collaboration with Scuf Gaming, Ronaldinho will look very sports organisation R10. It has been suggested that the team will complete exclusively in the FIFA word, compromise solely in the best rising talent in Brazil. Though additional details on R10 are slim at the time of writing, the release of Scuf Gaming promised to proudly support its exceptional initiative by providing the team with competitive edge they need to succeed. Scuf controllers allowed in esports for football, and is it allowed in COD?
Yes, I believe. I believe it. Okay, I don't believe anything. I don't know. Connor says, "Yup, yes, I believe again." Yes.
Yeah. We'll cut that bit out. We'll say we'll definitely know. We knew that they could use Scuf controllers. Me and David Fish played in a League of Sully in time. Yes, that was it. I knew he'd just come back from the tournament there. So just reading this last one here, Ronaldinho spoke with the ambassadorship in an interview. According to ESPN, the R10 team is actually my second project in esports. In 2010, we created the E-Liga Sul to start in the world of eFootball. We wanted to become a strong organisation in both FIFA environment and in Pro Evolution Soccer. I am very happy because I can proudly say that we achieved it. With the E-Liga Sul, we are PES World Champions, which they actually won the co-op championships last year. The R10 team dedicated to FIFA is a logical step in this process. We hope you have the same success. So yeah, it was the Guy Ferrer, Henry Quino, and what is it called?
Ralph.
Ralph, that's it. Yes.
I was there. I know.
We had Ralph and Alamo. That was it, wasn't it? There was them three.
Yeah.
Alamo, yeah. So them three were the Court Champions 3 League solely last year for Pro Evolution Soccer. They want to get into the FIFA market. Good luck to them. You've got to have some decent players, and he's got to have a lot of money because there is money going through the FIFA tournaments now. So to try and sign players, that's going to be interesting. I mean, you get to work alongside Ronaldhino, so I mentioned it's going to interest some people. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be as easy as it was to get a team in PES, especially if you're not throwing money at it.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, they clearly are because they've had illegal soul tournaments, and as Pirates just mentioned in the chat, the most recent competition just finished in Brazil with Henry Quinho winning and Usma, which is Uzmacabal for those of you that don't know the PES esports scene, coming runner-up. So, I mean, they've had to fly all of the competitors to Brazil for that event to take place. So they are putting money into it, just like you say, whether it's enough, because economies of scale, FIFA has more people playing, more eyes on it, more media column inches, but obviously it costs more to get into that.
But how much? I don't think Texas signed to a team yet after he left the F2 guys. How much do you reckon he would be worth in the FIFA market compared to what it would have cost for Henry Quinho to be sponsored to go into a PES tournament? The scale of that is massive.
Yeah, I can't see any. I mean, firstly, I don't know how much either of them cost, but I would assume that there would be a world difference. Not that I'm saying that FIFA is better than PES in any way, shape or form, or vice versa, but the amount of eyes from a media value perspective on FIFA's tournaments versus the PES tournaments would make you think it's like saying how much would Ibrahimovic cost versus how much would someone in the Championship cost, kind of thing, in that sort of way. So yeah, as Connor says, a lot. I reckon. I mean, I don't know. It could be 10 grand, it could be 20 grand, but it could easily be six figures. Quite because the amount of coverage that Tex got last year when he was absolutely ripping the scene apart. Was he only like 17 years old too? Everyone loves an underdog story, a new starter, and
a young lad.
Yeah, exactly. So he had all of that for him. He's still only 18 now. £4, says the adventurist. Sold. But the thing before we go into this is we made this happen. I mean, we're not credited anywhere in the article or anywhere, but we made all this happen. See, Ronaldinho holding that controller there? Yeah, we made that happen. Absolutely. It was all down to Ice Cream Upload. No, it wasn't. It was down to Jelly Media, and that's kind of the thing people don't really know. But we can't take any credit for the deal at all, but we could take credit for making it happen. So, for those of you that might not know, as Jelly Media, we deliver esports events, and we delivered that World Finals where he was talking about. They have the current World Finals in the PES co-op, in PES 2019 co-op. We delivered that event. Bibby was on stage shouting at people to get them all in order because he's a badass admin mofo. But in delivering that event, as well as doing the esports and the admin side of things, we also were tasked with finding partners and sponsors and providers for the event. Shout out to BuzzDev Peep, who was in the chat. He might still be there. And it was actually BuzzDev Peep that started the conversations with Scuf, and we've since seen that relationship progress. We've worked with Jake quite a few times. We spent a long night at the Twitch party getting very, very drunk. Shout out to all Twitch partners at the Twitch party. Yeah. So we were in the Twitch party at Gamescom, and there was a free bar, and I can't remember what we were drinking. Anyway, Jake went to the bar and kept bringing the drinks back because it was a free bar, and I thought we'll just have a couple of drinks anyway. We had more than a couple of drinks, but shout out to Jake, who's probably not
enough at a kebab shop for in the morning. No worries.
But yeah, we introduced Ronaldinho, Scuf to Ronaldinho's team E-League Assault. So technically, Ice Cream Uploads ex Scuf is what we're saying. I mean, we did.
Spike, my ego needs stroking every single day, mate. I want my head big enough. Door.
It's funny how he's got your actual face. Oh no, wait, that's a monkey. Oh.
But yeah, I like the fact that more people want to get into esports. Like City have just signed with FaZe Clan. I cannot imagine how much that would have cost. From well, I don't know who would be exchanging money for that. Did FaZe want to be partnered with City? Did City want to get into the esports? Because I know City already had a esports team for FIFA.
I want to stop you there. I had no idea about that. Genuinely.
Did you not?
No, I mean, I know City, no FIFA, no FaZe Clan. Did not know that. That completely passed me by. When did this happen?
So at the maybe 2 weeks ago, but City at the weekend when they came out and they have kits on the back of it. So it's got the City badge on the front, Puma, and then above it the FaZe Clan logo, and then at the back it just says FaZe Clan on the back of the shirts.
I had no idea.
Have a look through the Twitter, the City socials, and you'll be able to see it. But the pictures look dynamite. Like I can't remember. I think it was Danny Rye, the FIFA player, said if I was to support another team in England, it possibly could end up being City because he enjoys FaZe Clan, he loves FaZe Clan, but now they're partnered with them. Boom! All the merchandise that City are going to be releasing, or they'll have their own separate special run, will end up containing FaZe Clan logos as well as City. Connor seems to think that it's a no-money deal, which probably benefit both teams. Both parties, shall we say.
FaZe Clan and Manchester City reveal surprise partnership. This is taken from Desato, written by David Purcell. North American esports organisation FaZe Clan have linked up with Premier League champions Manchester City for a content creation partnership. This newly revealed alliance will see both parties create videos and exclusive content for fans to enjoy, but there will also be coming together of both brands in merchandising as well. Man City players will be wearing jackets featuring FaZe Clan logo in the future, starting with their Premier League fixture against Wolverhampton Wanderers. The innovative collaboration was announced by the football club on September the 25th by their official website, making FaZe Clan just their latest partner in the gaming world. The club have previously secured deals with Turtle Beach and the official esports headsets. Okay, marketing officers say things. Of course they do. Did not know that. Completely missed me by. Wow, that's
like what Connor just said. Then Man City fans who don't know esport, instant FaZe fans. FaZe fans who don't know football, instant City fans. It goes hand in hand.
So how do we get United to sign TSM? Just because I'm kind of a TSM fanboy because of my PUBG streamers, but the reason for that is because I watch a lot of TSM Break and I know he's a City fan, and it'd be good to watch him wear a United fan. Anyway.
Poor sod.
I
won't wish that on anybody.
What, City? I know.
Well, I mean, Premier League champions back to back. I mean, I'd rather that be than being 10th, but enough football talk. We'll not have people crying in the chat.
Premier League champions back to back. I mean, I'm glad you finally got to experience that. It's alright. Breathe.
No, I'm never wearing the United badge. I would rather. That might end up with being in my review. Yeah, but wear the shirt, you walk out the door.
The audio cut out for me then, so I didn't quite catch what you said then.
Oh, it's okay. No one wants to listen to me anyway.
But yeah, there we go. Anyway, I believe that's the end of our news wrapped up. So basically, recap: PlayStation 5 comes holidays 2020. Doom delayed until 2020. There's a Pokemon browser game that's kick ass, and Baby's kicked ass in the kick ass game. Twitch partners. I think our perspective are a bit butthurt when they don't really need to be, just make good content. And Ronaldhino enters partnership with Scuf Gaming.
Because of ice cream uploads.
Exactly. That's the summary. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much the end of the show. Just to go back over a few things again, we are streaming this live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. Within an hour or so, this will be live on YouTube if you've missed any of it and you want to watch it back. And then later on today, within a few hours usually, the audio version of this stream will be on all of the podcast services that we use. So on SoundCloud, on Spotify, not Google Play, and check it out. iTunes as well. Forgot
yes,
iTunes.
iTunes.
So make sure you check that out. But this guy, let's see if I can knock him off the screen. Boop, boop. Do you know what? When I do that, you should like. So yeah, there we go.
Oh, I've gone the wrong way.
Oh no, it was that way.
Yeah, for all you audio listeners, we're just knobbing about.
Yeah, check out the stream. It'll make sense. It doesn't make sense even if you watch it. It's fine. Thank you for everyone that has hosted, followed, subbed, and just been involved in the chat. And Adventurer says, and Captain's Bird's Eye View is coming to ICU soon. If you don't know what that is, then make sure you check out Tuesday's edition of the show, because it makes a little bit more sense. Still not entirely all the sense, but just a little bit more sense. Please try and high five before you go. I'm facing the wrong way. So.
The thing is, I've got a delay, so I'm gonna have to try.
Okay.
3, 2.
Wrong hand. Wrong way.
No, it's not. Oh, it is. Oh shit. 1, 2, 3. Ah.
Yeah, we'll take that.
That is horrific.
Do you know,
the perspective's all wrong on this.
But yes, there we go. Nailed it, says Aaron. Trust we'll take that. For,
We'll
for those of you watching, listening on the podcast, you really need to watch the live streams because that just does not make sense without it. So until next time, this has been The Scoop. We will be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'm Graham. Goodbye. This is way. This is the bib. Goodbye
guys.
Until next time, take care of yourselves. Stay frosty. Yeah, I now need to find the ends later because I'm not prepped.